I'm here with Erica D'Arcangelo. She has published not just one book, but four different books, four children's books, and one is a coloring book. And she's been marketing her own books. You have your own marketing company, so I'm sure that helps quite a lot with the self-publishing route. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. So I come from the marketing background
Mhm.
and I started in marketing like 25 years ago. So mainly I did healthcare marketing,
Yeah.
websites, SEO. And then I went on a journey a couple years ago. So my father had heart surgery.
Mm.
Yeah, and I had lived in Tampa Bay, but he wasn't doing well after surgery. And I decided to go home.
Yeah.
And home is Western PA, coal mining town. My family has a pizzeria. They've had it since 1960. So my dad was in the house and he was sick, and I was like, "Hey, like, why don't we get you out of the house? Like, let's go to the pizza place, and like, I'll help you with marketing,
Mm.
and you can like go and talk to people and work." And he was so grouchy, and he was like, "I don't believe in marketing." And I
Wow.
was like, "Okay, I understand." I was like, "So let's get in the car, and let's take you there." And so everything changed at that point. He started going there and I saw him like come alive again. And he decided he wanted to like restore this building from like 1910. And he was putting these pictures of the family up on the walls, and he was talking with the customers, and every day we would drive 20 or 30 minutes there and back. So he would start telling me the story of my grandfather and how he came from Abruzzo, Italy, and how he was a coal miner and he opened the pizzeria.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I was in there, I was filming content and I just became really inspired. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to write this story. So I sat down at my laptop and just started like writing this book. And so it took me like a year. And of
Mm.
course, we're like, going back and forth to the pizza shop, and I'm taking videos. And at the same time, we end up going viral on TikTok.
Wow.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, this little pizzeria that sort of just broke even, that was in the family,
Yeah.
started to like 10x. Like there's people, like it's open 4 days a week, and there's like a line in the door and all the tables are full. And my dad's sort of watching this happen. And
Wow.
people are like, "Hey, I saw you guys on TikTok." And they're driving from like different places in the country and they're coming in to the pizzeria.
Wow, that's very well done.
It was so fun, right? Like we have some videos, like one of our
Mhm.
videos has 64 million views.
Wow.
Yeah, which is crazy. So
Wow.
um, anyway, so this is several years go by and writing the book, and the pizza shop sort of blowing up. And
Mhm.
so I finished the book, and I have never written a book, so I don't know what to do with it. So I just like let it sit. It
Yeah.
sits for like 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do I even do?
Yeah.
I find an editor. I'm like, okay, I have nothing, like no record of writing books, no publisher, no agent.
Yeah.
I own a marketing agency. So I
Mhm.
was like, all right, I decided to self-publish it.
Nice.
So I think like many people, you go on this like, I'm going to self-publish and my book's just going to become a bestseller. Just out of thin air, someone's going to
Right.
find it. So I self-published and like a week goes by and like nothing. And
Mhm.
I'm like feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah.
Like actually, like
Yeah.
like I took all this time. I wrote this book and my book's so good and I want it to sell.
Yeah.
So then like I think another week goes by and I'm still like sort of self-loathing, like feeling sorry for myself. And I'm like, okay, like you have 20 years of experience in marketing. Like use what you know and market your book.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, so who would read my book? And it went from like not knowing to really kind of creating a scale of like, how do I do this and what my goals were
Mhm.
and my programs and my ideal scenes, and really how
Mhm.
to get this book from like just sitting there to nothing. And I
Yeah.
will tell you, I went from it being 2 weeks in and selling no copies to it becoming an Amazon #1 bestseller in three categories,
Wow.
and selling. I think now I've sold for maybe 5,000 copies, probably like 4,800 copies.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's been about 2 years in August. It will be 2 years. So,
Wow.
and really, a lot of my book sales came from like that moment 2 weeks in,
Mhm.
and the next like 90 days after that was just I just promoted it like mad, and it just started selling and selling and selling.
Wow. So it seems like you definitely needed the marketing side to be able to do any of the self-publishing.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've seen that many times as well with the self-published authors. They'll just put it on Amazon and they know it's a good book and then they publish it and they think because no one's purchasing it, it must not be a good book.
yeah,
And it's definitely not the case. So I'm happy that you're sharing that as well, that, you couldn't, even though the book is clearly liked, you sold many thousands of copies just in 2 years. So it is a great needed and wanted book, but you had to market it. So that's very interesting. You can definitely see that change.
Yeah, huge
Yeah.
change. And
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of like, author groups, and I see messages from people very often. It's like, I feel sad. I sold, I put this book out. I poured my heart and soul into this book. And I'm not
Yeah.
selling the book. And I'm like, hey, like, you have to market your book.
Yes.
Like, there is no one, I mean, hopefully there are people that will promote you, but like, you have to take the initiative and like really be fully responsible for like putting your book into people's hands.
Mm-hmm.
So the marketing leg is so important. And the one thing that I tell people is like to really look at like who's your book for. Like my book was historical fiction based on Italian Americans, based on pizza. So I had to look in those areas. So there's people in a certain age group that really love reading Italian history that are Italian immigrants.
Mm.
So putting it out on like channels where my family's pizza business was, we already had a viral TikTok following. So then it was like, okay, let me promote the book there on Facebook, on Instagram. Now, these were social media assets I had built up over 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I had many thousands of people on these assets.
Mm.
Then I was like, okay, what about bookstores and libraries? Like libraries like historical fiction.
Yeah.
So why don't I get lists and email people from these places?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they buy 3 or 4 copies each. So then there was another avenue. So it was like all these different avenues that really helped. And the other thing too is like things like Facebook ads. You can target people in Facebook ads who could read your book, and they're not expensive to run. But then you look at like, okay, like one of my children's books, it's about Italian Christmases.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, who would get that? Italian parents and grandparents for the kids.
Yeah.
Okay, boom. There's the ad. So then they see the ad, and even like now I run that ad. It's not Christmas. It's what, June?
Yep.
I sell a book every single day of that book.
Wow.
About children's, a book for Italian Christmases.
Wow.
And in December, I think I sold like almost 1,000 of those books in December.
Wow.
Because I ran the ad. Like,
Yeah.
I think I published the book November 1st. And then I was
Smart.
like, yeah, and I was in Italy.
Good timing.
It was good timing, right?
Yeah.
But I was in Italy and I was like, okay, like I'm in Italy. I was filming podcasts. I was like, I don't know if I have time to like do like a full promotion on this. So I'm just gonna run a Facebook ad.
Yeah.
Well, I sold a ton in November and December. And
Wow.
even then January, I actually forgot to shut it off. And I was like, oh, I'm still selling a book every day in January. So I was like, all right, January, February, March, April, May, I'm just gonna keep the ad works.
Wow.
Just keep running the ad.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Why not? What works, works. That's awesome. You told me a little bit already about what inspired the book. You were doing these car rides with your dad, who was telling you all about your grandpa.
Yeah.
So, is there any reason why you decided to also do the children's books and the coloring books and things like that?
Yeah. So I was selling the book and I was like very happy about it. It was probably like 3 or 4 months in. And I was working on my second novel. And I really felt like I needed to be like putting out more content, I guess. I was having coffee with my friend and I was talking to her about it. And she was like, this would be a really cool children's book. And I think at the time I was like maybe drinking matcha tea. So I was like very like, all right, I have all this energy. Like I decided, like I went home and I literally wrote like 3 of the children's books.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to get these published. And I found an illustrator and she was amazing. Not super expensive, but just really was like, I really liked her whole aesthetic. And so I decided to hire her. She's done all my books now.
Nice.
And we just sort of like, I sent her pictures of my family and she hand drew all the illustrations.
Wow.
And it was really special. And like, we put the first one out, I think, for maybe National Pizza Day.
Oh, that's very smart.
Yeah, in February.
Yeah.
And it was this very similar thing. Like a lot of people who had read the first book, they wanted the kids' book because they had kids, they had grandkids. And so then we did a pizza topping book after that, which I think came out on my dad's birthday, which is in July, like last year in July.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, you know what? I love these illustrations so much. Like, let's do a coloring book because my dad actually asked me, like, they have tons of kids that go in and eat.
Smart.
And it would be so,
restaurant.
Yeah, like he has the books at the restaurant. But I was like, how cute would it be if like, I told him just to print coloring pages. And then when the kids come in, they get the coloring pages and the crayons, but for the pizza place. And they get to learn the story, which is super cute. So I did that. And then I think we were like I don't remember. I think we were like getting ready to go to Italy, or we were doing something. And we were talking about Italian Christmases. And that's what my next novel was about, Italian Christmases. And so then I was like, I'm going to do a children's book for Italian Christmases because it's like a big tradition in Italian families.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the 7 fish dinner.
Yeah.
Which we've been doing this my whole entire life. Like, it's my grandparents used to get ready for it like 2 weeks before Christmas started, and it was this whole big.
Tell me about this. Like, what do they do mainly?
Okay, so
I'm very interested.
yeah, so we have our pizza place, right?
Okay.
And we have this huge Italian family.
Mm.
Like, my grandma had 11 kids in her family. My grandfather, I think they had 3 other brothers. I think there were 4 kids in his.
Yes.
And then all of them had kids. And then we have cousins. And so there's this family of like 50 or 60 people or more, right? And so every person is in and out of the pizza shop, and we're all loud, and people are eating, and it's like drinking, wine. And it's just like a very interesting family. So Christmas time, pretty much like the family that didn't live there, that moved away, comes back.
Mm.
And there's this huge feast, the 7 fishes. And you go and you prepare all this food. We used to go to Pittsburgh to the strip district and like go get the food from like the Italian market.
Mm-hmm.
You prepare all this food, and we close down the pizza place.
Yeah.
We move the tables into sort of like a U shape, and we have a tree in the middle, and the tables, it's so beautiful. The tables are decorated, and we just have this lovely couple hour long feast where people are just eating Italian food, drinking wine. We have like an Italian cookie table, and it's just to sort of give thanks and to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so fun. And then we all would do midnight mass.
Mm-hmm.
And then my grandfather, because you weren't allowed to eat meat if you were Catholic on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
So that's why the 7 fishes.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But why 7? Why 7 of them?
Some people say it's from like the 7 sacraments.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but in Italy, you eat seafood on Christmas Eve, but you don't actually have 7. Just depends. Like our region in Abruzzo, that's what we did.
It's just called 7. 7 fishes.
7 fishes. Yeah.
All right. So now that you've self-published several books, you've done 4 different ones now. So is there anything that you would say authors kind of underestimate in that process?
I think the preparation, like the promotion that you have to do before the book comes out.
Mm.
Like for me, for the first one, I did 0 promotion before my first book came out.
Yeah.
And that was something that I was like, I should have been promoting or teasing or, recording content about the journey of making this book.
Yeah.
Because that's something, especially on TikTok, if you start recording like your journey of writing the book and creating the book and working with the illustrator and like all these fun things, you can start to get an audience before your book comes out.
Yeah.
So I would say for anyone writing a book, like have a program for yourself of like how you can promote your book. Mm-hmm. I would even say a year before it comes out.
Yeah.
You can't really be too early.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, if your page goes viral, you end up having 100,000 followers when you started with 0, and you bring your book out with already having a following. Mm-hmm. It's going to give you a lot more of a chance for success.
That makes a lot of sense. So then let's say someone's going to maybe look at hiring a marketing agency like yourself to help publish their book and get it marketed. Well, maybe not do the publishing, but market it for them. When would you say is the best time for them to get involved with a marketing agency?
I would say a year, 6 months to a year before the book comes out.
Okay.
But I would also say to watch, because I've talked to a lot of people who've hired an agency that will make promises of like, we're going to sell this many.
Right.
And the estimation of effort of how much work it takes to really sell those books is way off. Because like, I will tell you, like I did, outreach to bookstores, outreach to libraries, social media. I mean, I have a whole podcast. Like, you have to be very, very visible as an author. And you also have to look at like the beingness of an author. Mm-hmm. Like, what does it really mean for you as an author? Like, who do you need to be? Like, as an author, you need to also be shown online. Yeah. So Google has a knowledge panel. Mm-hmm. So in the knowledge panel, you have to have third-party sources validate that you're an author. So I was like, okay, how do I do that? Well, I had to be on a bunch of podcasts. So there's places like Podmatch and places online that you can sign up that don't cost a lot of money. And you can actually like go on to podcasts and be a guest on podcasts for people. Fed into these different podcasts. So then when you searched my name, it was like Erica D'Arcangelo, author. and it had all of these photos and podcasts and all of these things I had done, and setting up online profiles, like setting up your Amazon author profile. There's a bunch of different profiles if you look, like author profiles on Google, and you can go and set yourself up with like your picture and your bio.
Would you say that it's easier to have someone, maybe a marketing agency, help connect the podcasts and help give kind of a structure at least for them to start with?
I think an agency that really understands books and really understands how to promote authors, you should have a program that you start probably a year before your book is published. And it includes this pre-promotion, going on podcasts, press releases, doing press, your website. I mean, all of these things, which I think is sort of the underestimation of, you're not just writing the book, you're now having to market yourself as an author, and you need to do this in a lot of different places, and it needs to be done consistently, constantly, persistently. And I think there's a lot of the times where, like any author, like you'll doubt yourself.
Yeah.
But you have to be confident in yourself and your book and your product, that you believe in it enough that you keep promoting it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like because you already had a marketing background, that might have helped you a little bit more with that confidence, because I think, I might be wrong on this, but I think that authors, when they're writing their book and they're trying to market themselves, they can maybe get a little bit introverted on the idea that their book is just not good enough to do a podcast or marketing. So it might be smart, if you're not that confident and 100% sure of your book, that maybe you just get a marketing agency so that they can keep you going the right direction at least. Yeah.
I think for sure having a second pair of eyes on your book.
Yeah.
Someone to help you with flow, someone to give you like just an exterior viewpoint of you, just not you, the author.
Yeah.
Is really important, because it does help you with confidence. And then when your book comes out, like, it's been looked at, the flows have been handled, that it's been edited, and you're putting out a real product.
So what would be one piece of advice you would give to an author that's trying to self-publish?
I would say the first thing is that get yourself very organized before you start promoting your concept immediately, early. Those things probably are the most important. And then get a second pair of eyes, someone who can help guide you through what you're doing.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. So for any authors out there that would like to work with Erica here and her whole company, she's got an entire marketing company with a whole team behind her. Anyone that wants to work with her, we are going to be leaving some information in our description box below. So make sure to go ahead and click on that and see how you can work with Erica here. And we'll see you next time.